Hello student, welcome to social studies class. So it is the first class as per the syllabus. Okay, as per your half yearly syllabus, 3 chapters are there, and the first chapter it is the revolt of 1857. Okay, it is the chapter number 7. So chapter number 7, revolt of 1857. Revolt of 1857, we will discuss this chapter. So revolt of 1857, before that in the first evaluation codes, okay, in the first evaluation one chapter was there, that the British administration. In that chapter we have thoroughly discussed that, so how British conquered India and how they got, okay, so how British got the Diwani right and all this, and it was mainly, okay, so the development mainly took place, it was after the battle of Plassey and the battle of Buxar. So battle of Buxar, and after winning the battle of Buxar, so British government signed the treaty, okay, one treaty with Salem II by the British officer, okay, Robert Clive. So then British started ruling, and from the 1757 to, if we go through, if we see 1757 to 1857, it is the 100 year, and the in this span of their rule, okay, 100 years rule, so the disgruntlement and the dissatisfaction started rising among the Indian, and as a result, so all this started coming out in the form of a revolt. So now this revolt of 1857, it is also called Sepoy Mutiny, and the number of historians labeled it as Sepoy Mutiny, and number of other historians also called it is the first war of independence. But other historians also do not agree, okay, as to call it is the first war of independence, because the whole India, okay, so the whole India, all the provincial, okay, so all the provincial kingdom had not taken part in the revolt. So it was because the, okay, it's a very different angle and the dimension that we will not see. Now the revolt of 1857, so what were the causes which are responsible for the for this revolt? Now the political cause, first this one we will see. So British till 1858 till 1857, so they were ruling, so British were ruling, so East India Company was ruling, and from 1858, so the Indian affairs directly taken by the British Crown after passing the Government of India Act of 1858 on 2nd August. So now British time to time introduced number of policies to expand their domination, expand their territory, okay. So by acquiring or the capturing number of other small princely kingdoms. So British policy, okay, policy of annexation created. So British policy of annexation created discontentment among the Indians, and mainly it was the Lord Dalhousie, okay. So it was Lord Dalhousie's policy of doctrine of lapse. Okay, so what doctrine of lapse says? So according to this doctrine of lapse, according to this policy, that the state would be acquired by the East India Company or the colonial government in absence of the natural heir. H-E-I-R, heir means the, in Bengali if we say, it is the Uttaradhikari. So this is also one policy that the British had taken, and the second, Lord Dalhousie also captured or annexed other princely kingdom by surfacing propaganda that you Indians are misgoverned by your ruler. So by giving these excuses of misgovernance, so the British government also captured number of other princely kingdom. And Lord Dalhousie, he also refused to continue the pension to Nana Sahib, okay, Nana Sahib. So he was the adopted son of the ex-Peshwa Bajirao II, so which was disliked by the number of his followers and mainly the Hindu people. So he also proposed to remove the titular Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar. So this also dissatisfied the Muslim community, okay. Now this the deliberation, and also there is we are discussing this political cause, and deliberately Indians were also excluded from the high office. So this also a potent cause of the discontentment among the Indians. And moreover, moreover, it is also very important to mention here, it is that the racial superiority among the British officials further alienated the Indian from the British government. And next class you will get that after this revolt of 1857, British also passed, means after passing this Government of India Act of 1858 on 2nd August, so then they passed the Indian Council Act of 1861 to make acquaint the Indians with the British newly established this administration. So that we will discuss next year. Now this racial superiority also played an important role in the revolt of 1857, as this superiority alienated the Indian from the British government. Now socio-religious cause, socio-religious cause, it is also very important as it is because that the British introduced the modern education to meet their administrative needs. So modern education means the Western education they introduced, and when this introduced, so as a result one new class also formed, and the number of the Indian also became educated. And missionaries also played important role in respect of converting Indians into Christianity, and this also aroused suspicion among the Indians. So it was also fueled by this religious cause. If we see it also fueled, so when the taxes was imposed on the temple property or the mosque property or the property which belongs to the religious institution, so this also engraved the people. And most importantly, when British started railway and all this, so all in the end also in the army, so all castes were put together in the army, in the railway, all castes were put together. So it goes against the tenets of this religion, Hindu religion. And sometimes the Christian missionaries, they also decried and criticized the Hindu religion or the religion, other religions also, and the customs. And mainly the British also abolished the sati system, and also passed legislation for the widow remarriage, and other reforms are also taken which dissatisfied Indian. So whatever these steps were good or bad, but Indians always looked at them with suspicion, because it was because of the mistrust between the British and the Indians whom they were ruling. Now the next cause, it is the economic cause. Economic cause, how it was, because time to time they increase taxes, and prison condition was miserable. In one way they increased the taxes, and another way they had not done anything to improve the agricultural condition. And as a result, many artisans lost their livelihood, and British also time to time introduced number of policies, the indigenous made goods, the more custom duties levied on indigenous made goods, and machine made goods were imported at minimum custom duties. Like this, the number of policies totally ruined or destroyed the indigenous industry. As a result, large number of people, they lost their livelihood, and this also dissatisfied all the Indians, the labor class or the artisans, farmers, peasants, and all this. And this also helped in the formation of background of revolt of 1857. And last cause, it is the discontentment among the soldiers. So 87% out of the total 100%, 87% army were the Indians, and remaining 13% were the British army. But Indians were not given promotion as like the Britishers, and they could rise only to rank of Subedar. So all the higher rank, from Subedar to all the higher rank were given to Britishers, so Indians were not given. And also there was a huge difference between the salary, salary differences was also there, and the British soldier got special allowance when they went on a war, but Indians were not given any such this allowance. So British officer also treated Indian soldier very inferiorly, and Hindus were not allowed to put or wear tilak or the turban, and Muslims were told to shave off their beard. Now this to somewhere all this going, okay, parallelly going, and the Indian army, okay, the Indian army, they were tolerating, but the next cause, okay, it take a turn in the regiment. So it was in the year 1856 when British introduced, a new rifle, so this rifle, its cartridge were greased, and this grease used was believed to contain the fat of pig and cow, which was against both the Muslim and the Hindus. So as a result, what happened? This became the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857, and on 29 March 1857, Mongol Pandey of 34th Infantry at Barakpur refused to use this new cartridge and asked his fellow soldier to join him, and it was the root of starting this revolt of 1857. Now Mongol Pandey and some of his fellow soldiers were hanged, and some were sentenced for 10 years. Now next this topic is, so these are the number of causes, these are and the immediate cause, it was because the introduction of this new rifle, which cartridge was greased, and the grease was believed to contain the fat of cow and the pig, and which was against both the Hindus and the Muslims. So the soldier thought it was a deliberate attempt to exploit the soldier, or to bring a question in their religion, towards their practicing of their religion. So now next it is the center of the revolt. Now center of the revolt, the entire Indian army at Meerut, they revolted on 10th May 1857. They liberated their fellow mates, the fellow soldiers from the prison, and started killing the British officers. Now from there they started marching towards Delhi, so where they claimed Bahadur Shah Jafar as their ruler. So he was proclaimed as the ruler of whole India, and though Bahadur Shah Jafar, he was very weak at that time in the Mughal Empire was in a sinking boat, if I say, so was not in a condition to counter the British. Now there were uprisings, so in the number of places, so uprising took place. So say the areas, say Assam, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Sindh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Hyderabad. Now in the West Bihar, so Kanwar Singh, he was commanded the rebels. So West Bihar, Kanwar Singh was commanding the rebel, and in Delhi, Bakat Khan, he was the commander. In Kanpur, Nana Sahib, and in Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai. She was fighting very heroically, and it was because of her bravery and courage. It was because of her bravery and the courage she fought the British heroically till her last breath. Now this, at the different places, the soldiers, they started revolt against the British, and civilian also took part in this revolt. But next topic is suppression, and how the British suppressed this revolt we will see now. When the revolt started at Meerut on 10 May 1857, so all the people, irrespective of their barriers, say the religion or the socio-economic barrier, whatever there or used to exist at that time, so the biggest factor, okay, that all the people, Hindus and the Muslim, they fought like brothers. But the British tried their level best, okay, British tried level best to divide the people on communal line, but they failed to do so, and the rebels accepted Bahadur Shah Jafar as their ruler. So Delhi, when revolt started, British tried their level best to suppress the revolt, and they suppressed it with their iron hands. Now Delhi was recaptured by the British. Bahadur Shah Jafar, he was imprisoned and after that exiled to Rangoon in Burma, where he died in the year 1862. His three sons were executed. At Khuni Darwaja in Delhi. So like this, Rani Lakshmibai, she was also defeated in the battlefield, and Konwar Singh, the rebel leader of West Bihar, was also who sustained wound and died subsequently. So Nana Sahib also fled to Nepal. Like this, all those leaders, those who were commanding at different places, some of these leaders were died, some of these leaders they fled from the country to other countries, say like this Nepal. So suppression of the revolt, it was followed by the various atrocities by the British. It was not only on the armies, so it was also on civilians. So both armies and the civilians, so they were exploited and atrocities carried out on them by the British. It was what it is, so it was a revenge, okay. So British started taking. So sometime entire village razed or destroyed by the British. So it was that the revenge fire was going on in the heart and the mind of the British, as because number of the British officers were killed by the Indian rebels. So whenever they razed or this destroyed the village, they also looted the same with full intensity. So, thousands of the rebels were executed publicly, so that in future, so Indian they may not revolt against the British. Now next topic, it is this importance of the revolt. Of course, this revolt of 1857 was very important and the glorious event in the history of India, and this history of this revolt, okay, written in the number of books or mentioned by number of historians in their works. Now biggest factor of this revolt, it was the unity between Hindus and the Muslims, and the British tried their best to divide them on communal line, but they failed to do so, and it was because of the unity between Hindus and the Muslim and all people. So they fought the British very heroically, and it was because of their courage and the bravery. So they are remembered, all the leaders, they are remembered in the history of modern India as legend. Now revolt marked the beginning, so it was the beginning of a broader struggle in the future and broader struggle against the British. So it marked a broader struggle against the British. Now those who are fighting, say the Rani Lakshmibai and the number of the other leaders or those who were commanding at the different places, so they were fighting, but it is also to say that the idea of nation was also not there. It was not that they were fighting for the nation and all this. So the India was divided into number of princely kingdom, and this revolt of 1857, it was not a nationalistic movement. A concept of nationalism was not yet there, but it ushered a new consciousness and awareness about nation among the Indians. So this is the importance, okay. So these are the importance of the revolt of 1857. Now, so why the revolt of 1857 failed to achieve its aim or objective? So the causes for the failure of the revolt of 1857, these are as so if we see that the revolt of 1857 had its inherent weakness. So now weakness, this is the leadership, okay. So the leadership of the revolt was in the hand of the depressed landlord, Okay, so depressed landlord, it was that the landlord who used to enjoy before the British, but when the British came, so their enjoyment or the lavish life, so these are disturbed by the British. So they were the people who were leading at different places or commanding the revolt. This revolt was not inspired by any political consciousness, and revolt never tried to introduce any political system, and there was no any big power, okay, who would rule British after throwing them away from the country. There was no such power, and there was no any big power, okay, who could take the place of British. There was no such any power who could take the place of British. So, and there was also lack of coordination, among the rebel leaders, and the artisans, peasants, and the soldier, okay, made revolt a popular movement. Okay, it is important. Okay, it is important. They made this revolt very popular, but they did not have their own independent leaders, and with new ideas, society or economy, equality, political system, there was no such thing. Okay, so they were following their old or the existing system, and because of this, it also one of the cause of failure of the revolt of 1857. And most importantly, so the rebel leaders, they claim Bahadur Shah Jafar as their leader. That Bahadur Shah Jafar, he was very weak, and he was not in a position to counter or to attack British or to throw the British away from the Indian soil. So most of the rebel fought in their own region. There was hardly any coordination among the forces. This revolt was not a pan-India level. Say the Punjab and the fully, okay, mostly the southern India, okay, southern India aloof from this revolt of 1857, and number of these provinces, okay, number of provinces had not taken this part in the revolt of 1857. So these are the number of causes which are the failure of the revolt of 1857. So this is all about this discussion of this chapter, and in your exercise, so it is tick the correct option, fill in the blanks, and the match the columns. In the column A with the column B, true or false, you write by your own, and the notes will be given after 15th of this month. So I shall supply you the notes, and remaining portion, this true, false, and match the columns, that you do by your own, and read the chapter repeatedly. I hope you all are fine. You read it to your home nicely. Go through the chapter, enjoy this class. If any doubt is there, write in the comment section. I shall reply you. Thanks to all.